Alrighty, I am going to start off with sharing this screen. Okay, alrighty. So I won't be able to see everybody right away. Hi, Willie, how you going? I see you coming on beautiful. So tonight we are going to be covering, hi, Christy, how are you, gorgeous? Awesome. Tonight we are going to be covering stories, but we're going to be really diving deep into this. And it's a really, really important topic because stories are often the very thing that we unconsciously are unaware of that are actually the driving force behind a lot of decisions that we're making. And tonight we're going to really unpack what that looks like and how some of the ways we can do using breath work, using our intuition and some cognitive stuff to be able to help us to move through that. Some very simple tools that we can use, but that can really make a huge difference. Hey, Ali, how you going? To help us to move past these stories. So let's dive in a little bit. So, what is a story? A story is something we've repeatedly told ourselves. And an example of this, little Johnny told me I'm ugly. We believed it. And now our story is I'm ugly. The truth is that little Johnny may have had a bad day or feel bad about himself. And even if Johnny thinks you're ugly, that is his opinion only. The truth is, beauty is very subjective. And what one person considers beautiful, another may not. This does not mean you are ugly. It's just one person's words. The story is the repeated thing we have continued to tell ourselves, and that is, I'm ugly, because we have said it so often it becomes a belief. The story is what we often keeps us locked in the emotion. The story re-triggering the feelings we experience. And what breathwork allows us to do is to actually go under that story. So let's dive into this world a little bit deeper. So, stories are the personal narratives we tell ourselves about who we are, what we're capable of, and how others perceive us. And I want you to write that down. All right. Stories are the personal narratives we tell ourselves about who we are and what we're capable of and how others perceive us. Yeah, this is really important to understand. As we dive in, you'll get to see more and more how this is so relevant. These stories often begin in childhood when we interpret events through a limited perspective. An example, if a parent withheld affection after a mistake, a child may internalize the story and think, I'm unworthy of love when I fail. How many of us have had a parent or somebody we looked up to criticize us for something? We might have had an outburst about something. Maybe we were upset about something and we were told that, don't be silly, stop being a sook, quieten down, you're embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing the family, you shouldn't be like that. Don't worry about little Joey who stole your toy. There's plenty of others to play with. Anyone ever experienced that? I'd love it, ladies, if you can turn cameras on. And I love to see faces and I really love to see people engaged as much as possible. So if you can turn your cameras on and just, let me know that you're getting this as we go along. Just hands up if anyone can relate to that story, because I know I certainly have been there. Thank you for that. So over time, these narratives solidify, right? So they become solid and influence the way we act, we think, and interact with the world. Our stories, however, are not always factual. I want you to write that down. Our stories are not always factual. Okay, 100% not. And there's a number of reasons why that. They are interpretations influenced by emotional experiences. Okay, they are interpretations, okay, influenced by emotional experiences. Okay, and since our emotions can change, they are not always factual. All right. Not only that, our perception is a huge part of that. So there's a old exercise that used to be done about perception, and you put a bowl of fruit in the middle of the table, and you'd have, say, 8 people sit around the table. And then you'd ask each person what they saw first. And depending where the person was sitting, they all saw something different. But the bowl of fruit was exactly the same. Nothing in the fruit bowl changed. All right. But the perception from what that person was seeing from where they were sitting. So, what does that actually mean for us? Well, that's about our experiences, our understanding, our environmental factors. There are so many contributions to a story. But the story that you had when you were 5 years old and Aunt Jane said to you that blue shorts weren't your colour doesn't mean that Aunt Jane was right about that. That was Aunt Jane's perception of blue shorts. But we internalize the emotion from that. Oh, I shouldn't wear blue shorts. So I can't wear blue shorts. And we discover that as an adult, we've got an adversity to wearing blue shorts and feel bad about it all the time, even though blue might actually be our favorite color. All right. Because the story that great Aunt Jane told me I look bad in blue shorts is playing in our head. Because Aunt Jane was somebody we looked up to, we perceive it to be factual as a child. Fun fact, between the ages of 0 and 5 years of age, children really don't know the difference between reality and fantasy. Okay? They perceive it to be real. So if they watch something on the TV, they perceive it to be real. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your personality is developing. Your beliefs are developing. By the age of 7, 80% of your personality will be established. 80% by 7. So that's a little bit of an insight of how much the world around us affects us in early childhood, all right, and how impacting that can be. Stories are stored in the subconscious and in the body. What's fascinating is that stories don't just exist in the mind, they manifest in the body. When an emotion is experienced but not expressed, the energy becomes trapped in specific areas of the body, leading to tension or discomfort. For example, the story of being unworthy may create tightness in the chest, mirroring emotional suppression. Sadness is often related in the chest. In the shoulders, we often feel weight when we've had to carry a lot of responsibility, or heaviness on our back, feeling like we're being loaded down. All right. Heaviness in our legs, feeling like we're stuck. All right. These sensations can give us a lot of insight into why we may be feeling something. Meanwhile, the subconscious mind, which controls 95% of our thoughts and behaviors, keeps replaying these stories as truth. It's as if we're running a script we don't realize we're following. And that's true because 95% of what we think about, we don't actually think about. It's actually programmed in our unconscious mind. It's back where great Aunt Jane told us the blue shorts weren't good for us. It's not a thought we're thinking about at my 21st birthday, but when I see blue shorts, I'm like, oh, blue shorts. You can't wear blue shorts. The ripple effect of stories on life. Unconscious stories can influence every area of life. They can affect relationships. They may cause self-sabotage, such as pushing partners away for fear of rejection. Anybody ever done that? Anybody here had a partner and been guilty of pushing them away? Oh, I'll get rid of them before they get rid of me. Yeah. I don't want to deal with that. So if I go, no, I don't really need this relationship, or I don't really need this job. I don't really need to go do this extra education anyway, because the fear that I'm going to fail, not be good enough, or not be right is so great. And the stories are so great in our head that we just automatically sabotage it rather than dealing with the rejection. If things are going well, I used to pick a fight as I didn't think things could be good all the time. Thank you for sharing that, Ali. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's so, so common in relationships. In careers, someone carrying a story like, I'm not smart enough, might shy away from opportunities or promotions. That was me. I got put in management positions, and within a week, I'd be like, I can't do this. I'm no good at this. I'm too stressed. Nope, I need to go back to what I know. And I'd shut it down. All right. And my boss even said to me, I just want to shake you sometimes. You have got so much more potential, but you refuse to deal with it. And that's right. I did at the time. I blatantly refused to do it. Right? Till life put me in a position where I had to. And that's when the ugly truth really comes up about storytelling. And you got to deal with all of those emotions. And that can definitely be a big one. But what many people don't realize, it can also come out physically. So chronic stress from disempowering stories can impact digestion, sleep, and energy levels. Recognizing that stories are simply interpretations, not facts, gives us the power to rewrite them. Through awareness, breathwork, and mindset shifts, we can begin to change the narrative. And tonight, I'm going to invite you into a really beautiful time. So I'd love cameras on as much as possible, please. I'm going to ask as much as possible. If you can, please have your camera on at this point. It is actually quite important. Yeah. I understand if some of you are in car, please stay safe, and you're listening in. Appreciate that. But if you can, please turn your camera on. Has everybody here heard of the inner child? Hands up if you've heard of the inner child. Yeah. Can't have my cam on, so that's okay. No worries, Willie. Thank you for letting me know. No worries, just listen in. But yeah, if you can have your camera on, cameras on, please. Great. So we all understand, loving the inner child work, so powerful. Yeah, it really is. And tonight we've got a really, really beautiful exercise to help you to heal the inner child. The inner child is the person we were before the world told us we couldn't be them. And take a breath into that, okay? Because it's going to be quite confronting for a lot of you, okay? So take a breath into that, okay? And when I say take a breath, I want you to take a breath down to your belly, up to your chest, and let go. We're going to breathe through the nose, down to the belly, deeply, up to the chest, and let go. That's okay, Chris. No problem at all. Just join in as much as you can. All right. I want you to look into that part of yourself and find that inner child. And when you have, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're sitting with that. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent, Christy. AJ, yep. She's in there. Excellent. Thank you, Chris. All right. Just breathe into that. And what I want you to do is I would like you to take your dominant hand and I want you to write a letter to your inner child. And I want you to acknowledge and say sorry for the times you've left her. Her dreams, her desires, her intuition, her excitement, her joy. Take a few minutes to breathe into that and just apologize to her for leaving her behind. Really connect to her. What did she want to do that you told her she couldn't do? Where did you leave her behind? Where did she get shut down? Try not to make anything wrong or right or judge yourself in this space, but just acknowledge that. Remember, we're all only ever doing the best we can in the knowledge we have at the time. But just acknowledge her excitement and joy in the world. And maybe she didn't get to share that. When you've done that, give me a thumbs up. Take a couple of minutes to really explore. If you find you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with emotion, that's okay. Just take a breath down to your belly, up to your chest. Just let it go. Don't make the space wrong or right. You're all doing great. And now I'd like to invite you to use your non-dominant hand, the hand you don't write with, that interestingly enough often looks like a small child writing. And I'd like you to give her permission to write all the things that she was feeling. No matter what it is, she might want to swear, she might want to jump up and down. That's okay. With your non-dominant hand, let her write all of which she was feeling. Give me a thumbs up when you're all done that. Take a few minutes. Let her fully express everything she's feeling. Maybe she was angry or hurt. Maybe she felt suppressed or rejected. Maybe she felt scared, fearful. lost. Let her express that, remembering she's a part of you. Whatever you're feeling, just let it come. Just breathe through it and let it come. When you're ready, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to move forward. Excellent, AJ. Excellent, Christy. Excellent, Chris. Now, what I'm going to invite you to do is to put your left hand over your heart. Take a breath through your nose and put your right hand over that hand. And I want you to say, I receive all of it. I leave no parts behind. All of me gets to move forward in my life. And release. I receive all of it. I leave no parts behind. All of me gets to move forward in my life. And release. I receive all of it. I leave no parts behind. All of me gets to move forward in my life. Left hand over heart, right hand over left hand. I receive all of it. I leave no parts behind. All of me moves forward in my life. And release. Welcome back, my beautiful integrated friends. Drop in the chat how you're feeling. Peaceful and strong. I love it. I love feeling my heartbeat. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that was so empowering. Absolutely. I love the feeling of my heartbeat. Love that. Peaceful. Yeah, excellent. At peace. Excellent. I love it. So powerful. Release and joy. Excellent. Excellent. Take a breath down to your belly and up to your chest. There's a nice, easy one to break through. Easier than we thought. Yeah. Yeah. When we invite ourselves back, welcome ourselves back, we become peaceful and calm because we align with who we really are. We come back to who we really are. So emotions are an energy in motion. I want you to write that down. Energy in motion. Emotions are not just fleeting feelings. They are an energy in motion. And when we allow emotions to flow through us, they come, peak, and release. However, when we suppress emotions like anger, sadness, or fear, this energy becomes stuck. Think of it like holding a beach ball underwater. Eventually, it will pop up with more force. Stored emotional energy shows up in physical sensations such as knots in the stomach, a clenched jaw, headaches. This trapped energy keeps the emotional charge alive, creating patterns of stress and tension. We avoid emotions because many of us fear feeling emotions because we believe the feelings will overwhelm us or last forever. From a young age, society often teaches us to stay strong, move on, or don't cry. As a result, we develop coping mechanisms like avoidance, emotional eating, or distraction. The irony is that the more we suppress emotions, the longer they linger in the body. Processing emotions is not about analyzing them, but feeling them fully so the energy can move through and out of us. Breathwork is a tool to release emotional energy. Breathwork is a powerful tool for releasing trapped emotional energy. Through focused breathing, we bypass the mind and connect directly with the body. By breathing deeply into areas of tension or discomfort, we bring awareness to the sensations and emotions stored there. An example, a tight chest may soften as we can consciously breathe into it, allowing sadness or grief to release. Breathwork shifts the body from a state of fight or flight to rest and digest, creating space for healing and clarity. Christmas time can, while very joyful for many, can also amplify emotional stress and unresolved stories. Family gatherings often bring up old patterns such as feelings of being unappreciated, unseen, or misunderstood. An example may be that someone who grew up feeling they weren't enough may feel pressured to overgive or perform to earn approval. These patterns are heightened because Christmas comes with social expectations of perfection, perfect family time, meals, gifts, adding to the emotional charge. How these stories manifest in the body and mind. Stress during the holidays doesn't just exist in our thoughts, it affects our physical body. Stories like I'm not doing enough or I don't fit in create a state of fight or flight, causing tension, shallow breathing, and even digestive issues. Many people cope through overindulgence in food or alcohol, which temporarily numbs the emotion but reinforces unhealthy habits. These physical and emotional patterns can perpetrate feelings of guilt and shame, further entrenching the stories we carry. Breathwork to stay connected and grounded during Christmas. The good news is that by practicing breath awareness, we can stay present and grounded. Breathwork allows us to regulate our nervous system, making us less reactive to family dynamics or internal expectations. For example, pausing to take a slow, deep breath before responding to a triggered comment can help us choose a calm, intentional response. By tuning into the breath, we release the emotional charge of old stories and enjoy Christmas with more presence and peace. So again, let's poor old Aunt Jane, she's having a bit of a hard time over there, but she's back again in this example. So Aunt Jane, you've made a beautiful chocolate cake, and without fail, every year, Aunt Jane's got something to say about the chocolate cake. Could have made a bigger one than that. You should have used this. You should have done that. That wasn't right. No, I wouldn't have used that chocolate. What did you use in this? It's not quite nice enough, doesn't have the right flavour. And you're like, I'm so sick of it. I spent hours making this perfect just to get it right, and she's still complaining. Anybody got an Aunt Jane in their house? Anybody got an Aunt Jane in their family? Yeah. Yeah, I think we could all pretty much relate to Aunt Jane or Uncle Tom, one of them. We've all got them, okay? One of the ways we can deal with that is to actually, before we respond, take a breath, all right? Calm your nervous system, all right? Every time you take a deep breath down to your parasympathetic nervous system, which is down here, down in your lowest part of your belly. So you want to take, I'm going to say this, a butt breath, all right? You want to take the breath so deep it feels like it's in your butt. You go, okay, so we're going to practice that. We're going to take a butt breath. Who's up for a butt breath? All right, here we go. So it's a big breath through the nose until you can feel your butt clench, basically. You ready? And now release. Feel the release in the nervous system? Yeah. All right, that's just on one single breath. Imagine if you did 2 or 3 before you answered Aunt Jane. All right. Instead of now wanting to hang Aunt Jane by her ears off the clothesline, you'll probably have a more intuitive response. Thanks so much, Aunt Jane, for your feedback. I appreciate that, but I really like the way I did this cake. You have a great day. And walk away. Or you might just say, that's nice, Aunt Jane, because you might decide you don't need to make a comment at all. Because it really doesn't matter what she thought. Did you like the cake? Did you enjoy making the cake? Then it really doesn't matter what Aunt Jane thought. Yeah. But when we get caught in the emotion, we run into some trouble pretty quickly. So now we're going to try another thing using our breath, and this is what we call body scanning. And in this particular breath work, we use this to, on the exhale, we imagine the tension melting away. On the inhale, you're checking your body to see where it is. So within each inhale, we're going to affirm, I release what no longer serves me. Okay? I breathe in peace. And this helps to connect the body and mind. And then when we release the tension, we're letting go of all the things that are holding us back. So does everyone get what we're doing? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to get comfortable. And what we're going to be doing to start with is we're going to breathe into our body, butt breath. Okay. And we're going to be scanning through our body. So imagine, a great way to do scanning is imagine a bar, because we all relate to scanners from, like, you know, the supermarket and stuff like that, a little scanner. Imagine you've got a mental scanner and you're going through your body. And as you go through your body and you're breathing, you notice different points where you can sort of feel the bar's a bit stuck. Yeah. And as you feel that bar a bit stuck, become a bit curious about the sensation you're feeling there. Just approach it tonight with curiosity, nothing more than that. All right. So I'm going to invite everybody to close their eyes, and I'm going to guide you gently into being able to scan that and have a look in your body. So big breath right down to your bottom, filling your chest right up, letting go. Big release. Breathing in, belly, chest, expand, and letting go. Belly, chest, expand, and letting go. Belly, chest, expand, and letting go. Imagine a bar above your head, breathing down to your belly, up to your chest, expand, and letting go. Imagine the bar coming down lower to your head. Take a breath down to your belly, up to your chest, expand, and let go. You might begin to notice some sensations in your body. Breathing belly to chest, expand, and letting go. It could be in your neck or your shoulders, where we often carry responsibility. Breathing belly, chest, expand, and letting go. It could be in your chest, where you're feeling sadness. Breathing belly, chest, expanding, and letting go. You may feel weight on your back, like you've been carrying heavy burdens. Breathing belly, chest, expand, and letting go. It could be in your hips or your solar plexus, which is in the middle of your tummy, or lower down in your belly. We often feel fear or anger. Breathing in down to your belly, up to your chest, expanding and letting go. Maybe it's your arms or legs. It could be your calves or ankles. Wherever it is for you, try not to judge the space, but rather be curious about the sensation. Is it tight, heavy, warm, cool? Whatever it is for you, notice it with curiosity. Breathing belly, chest, expanding and letting go. As you begin to inhale, repeat to yourself, I release what no longer serves me. I breathe in peace. And as you exhale, imagine all the tension melting away. Breathing in, I release what no longer serves me. I breathe in peace. And exhaling all the tension and stress away. Breathing in, I release what no longer serves me. I breathe in peace, releasing all the tension from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Breathing in, breathing out. Well done. We're going to round this off now. Take a breath down to your belly, up to your chest. Gently wriggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Drop in the chat to me how you're feeling. Let me know if you felt any relief. Sleepy? Yeah. It's quite normal. Relaxed, teary, that's also very normal. Very normal. Remember, whatever comes up is for your healing. Amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Take another deep breath, and I'm going to help everybody just come back together again. We're going to take a breath in and lift our shoulders up, and a breath out. And one more. And one more. Great. Excellent. Stella says, I was getting frustrated at the heaviness in my shoulder blades, and as soon as we did the breathing in peace, it's like a cooling effect flowed over my back and it instantly released. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, isn't it? Pretty powerful stuff, our breath. And the breath I just did then is a quick energizer breath. So if you're ever feeling really tired, breath in, shoulders up, release. That gives you a quick bit of energy again. Yeah. Just gets the body back up. What we're doing then with the shortness of the breath is activating the sympathetic nervous system up here, which is actually our fight and flight system, but it's also great for energizing. So don't do that too much, but it's just to help you get a bit of energy. So we can move into the next part. So the emotional connection of weight gain. Okay, this was pretty interesting little piece here. So let's tune in for this one. Many people view weight gain as simply a physical issue, but emotional stories often lie at the root. Food can serve as a coping mechanism to numb feelings of loneliness, stress, or inadequacy. For instance, someone who grew up feeling unloved may associate food with comfort, creating patterns of emotional eating. That was a massive thing for me. For me, food was the only thing that was fairly easily accessible when I was younger. And so it became kind of my friend when I grew up. I grew up in a lot of, DV and stuff like that. And so like many of us, I had learnt coping mechanisms, and food was easy obtainable. When you didn't feel good, it was easy to get that bit of cake or a bag of chips or something to feel better. And over the years, that became such a habit that it didn't matter what emotion I felt, I would do the same thing. Yeah, even if I felt happy. Because I'd been through a lot of trauma, I wasn't able to identify emotions being separate one to the other, one being happy, one being sad. It was all one in the same for me. Yeah, because I lived in what they called a hyperarousal state. So I was always in fight or flight mode. Yeah. So even when I had great happiness, experiences of great happiness, that promotes adrenaline, which is also associated in trauma. And so that would trigger me. And so I was so traumatized, I was afraid of being happy because of the feelings of trauma that would happen related to that, because I had been through so much trauma in my life. Okay. And so for me, food became my outlet for that. The story might sound like food is the only thing that makes me feel good, or I'll never lose this weight. These beliefs keep us stuck in cycles of shame and unhealthy habits. How stress and emotions impact the body. Chronic stress from negative stories triggers the release of cortisol. I want you to write this down. Chronic stress from negative emotions or stories create triggers that release cortisol, a hormone that promotes weight retention, especially around the abdomen. My friends who say to me, have so much trouble losing weight off my tummy. That will almost always be related to stress. Yeah, there are body types that play with that too, and hormones, but that's where a lot of it will be coming from. Stress. This is why we are so big on self-love here, because this is exactly what happens to the body. It becomes stressed and it will actually hold on to weight and retain it. Yeah. And you can be doing everything right, eating and exercise. And if anything, you'll only gain weight. Yeah. When we eat in a stressed or emotional state, digestion slows down and the body holds on to calories as a survival mechanism. Okay. So we've got this fight and flight thing happening. So in days of famine, when we didn't have enough food, we'd hang on to it to store and make sure we had enough to keep us going. All right. Physically, emotional eating may feel good in the moment, but often leads to regret, reinforcing the belief I have no control. Who's been there? I just can't control myself. Can't control myself. Breathwork helps disrupt this cycle by calming the nervous system, reducing stress, and bringing awareness to emotional eating patterns. It gives you a disruptor to focus on your breath. So it only takes about 3 seconds for us to change a thought pattern that we've got. Yeah. What happens is once we get a thought, we then attach a story. And it's the story that keeps us stuck. Yeah. Thought, story. That's how we get stuck. Yeah. But if we can catch it at the thought and just go, you've disrupted the thought pattern, which gives you time to choose a different thought. How cool is that? How cool is that? Come on, tell me that is not the coolest thing ever, right? You've been paying for years of therapy. You can do this in 3 seconds. Come on now. This is awesome. I was absolutely thrilled when I discovered that with breathwork. But Mel, why doesn't it always work? There we go. But Mel, why doesn't it always work? Because we often don't know the stories we're thinking about. Okay. That's the 95%er of autopilot. Yeah. So Mel, how do we catch the story? Let's dive in. So reframing stories around weight loss. So we catch the story when we stop and ask ourselves, where did that come from? Where did that come from? And I'm going to give you a few more questions. We're going to do a little bit of work around this tonight. So to create lasting change, it's important to rewrite the stories we tell ourselves about our body and food instead of focusing on fixing the body. I want you to write that down. We do not focus on fixing the body. That is not our focus. All right. Our focus, all right, should be one of self-love and nourishment. For example, replace I'll always fail with I'm learning to trust and care for my body. I want you to say those two things to yourself, right? Start off with saying I'm always failing, and pay attention to how your body feels. Just say it out loud to yourself. I'm always failing. What do you notice starts happening in your body? Write a couple of those things for me in the chat. What do you feel? Do you feel tension, stress? What starts to happen? Does stories start to come up? Makes me feel ick. Yep. Yep. I believe it. Yep. Tension. Yep. Stomach cramps. Yep. Okay, great. Okay, so now I want you to say to yourself, I'm learning to trust and care for my body. And really feel into that feeling. Pay attention to it. I'm learning to trust and care for my body. Yeah. 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 Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. Yeah, nervous system response is faster than thoughts or stories. So calming, shifting nervous system is also important. Teaches our body we are safe, not threatened. Absolutely, peace and hope. Yeah. What else do you feel? Yeah, I'm learning to trust and care for my body. Self confident. Wow, I felt happiness and smiled. Yeah, before I was sad. Yep, yep. Empowered. Absolutely. So that's becoming conscious. My body feels love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's because we're becoming conscious of what we're thinking about and how we can see how that actually physically affects our body, right? What that's actually doing to us. So imagine if we're telling ourselves even 3 negative thoughts a day, how that feels in the body and what we're teaching our body. We're teaching our body to stay in a fight and flight state. Yeah. And so our body's really clever. Our brain is a super cool little dude. It's very helpful. It'll gather all the information you want to support your belief. Absolutely. Absolutely. So my question is, do you want to believe I always fail, or I'm learning to trust and care for my body? Which way did you like to feel? Yeah. Yeah. Empowering ourselves as adults to change our stories. Becoming aware of old patterns. So the first step in changing a story is becoming aware of it. So often we live on autopilot, replaying old stories without realizing they are optional. Awareness involves pausing and reflecting. And here's some questions you might want to write down. What story am I telling myself right now? Where did this belief come from? An example might be someone avoiding a career opportunity might uncover the belief I'm not capable. Once we bring these stories to light, we can begin to change their truth. Yeah. Could be Great Aunt Jane's voice telling you about those blue shorts again. But is that your voice or Great Aunt Jane's voice? So is the story true? Is there evidence to support that? What's the evidence that supports that belief system? Is it relevant anymore? Maybe it really upset me when, Johnny, who was the most popular kid in school, didn't want to go out with me. But now I'm married to Bob, who's amazing, and Johnny's not even in my life anymore. I'm still upset about Johnny. Bob's over here living my best life with Bob, but I'm still all upset about Johnny. The outworking to that, Bob doesn't ever feel like he's good enough. Stories affect other people. Yeah. Yeah. So now we are going to write down a limiting story, such as I'll always be this way. And then we're going to pause and identify how this belief feels in your body, which is what we did. And it's heaviness in your stomach or tension in shoulders. But now what we're going to do is we're actually going to write down a new empowering version of the story. So I'm going to invite you now to think of a story that's been holding you back. And there should be something pretty easy that'll come to mind, because really most of us do know we've got some stories. All right. So now's a chance for you to dig in deep, all right, and challenge yourself on what that story is. So I'm going to give you a minute or two to write down what the story is, and I'm going to tell you the next bit. How can we locate the stories? Take a breath into your belly, down to your chest, but you'll definitely think of a few. If you even think about this, just the day you've been in today, you'll identify a story. You give me a thumbs up when you've got that. The story could be about the way you look, appear, your capacity to do a job, your capacity to learn, your social engagements, your interactions with your families, friends, loved ones. It's how you perceive the world around you and your part in it. Give me a thumbs up when you've got a story that you'd like to work through. Excellent. Thanks, Christy. Anybody else? AJ's great. Yep, Stella's great. Awesome. So the next thing we want to do now is to write an empowering version of the story. So I'm capable of change. Take a few deep breaths and feel this new belief settling into your body. So the empowering statement is, I am capable of change. And take a couple of deep breaths into that. There's an important reason why we breathe in when we're bringing in a new belief and why we release to let go of, because of exactly the action. When we breathe in, breathing it into our bodies. When we release, we're letting go out of our body. Okay. Example of this, I'm so thankful for. Okay. It's an example of that. Now, how's everybody feeling now when they put that story, change that story that they had from I'm this to I'm capable of change? How did that alone make you feel? What did you notice change in your body? It's 5 words. I am capable of change. I am. Uplifting. Excellent. Felt sadness leaving my body. Excellent. So now we're going to move into, belief. Love that. Empowering. Love that. The word acceptance means feeling emotions fully. Alrighty, everybody knows the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How long does an emotion in a physical sensation take to be felt? An emotion, not a thought, an emotion. Take to be fully felt in the body. Anybody know? 90 seconds. The felt sensation in the body of an emotion when released takes less than 90 seconds. They say as little as 60, but 90 seconds. Yeah. Yet we sit there for 90 days. How's that work? Right? Who's still mad at Aunt Jane from last Christmas? Come on, hands up. I know you are. You're still mad, right? But Aunt Jane's living her best life all year, and you're still mad about the chocolate cake from last year. That's how men live in the moment. Yeah, in a lot of cases that's true, but that's to do with the way men's brains are. Yeah, they're box people. We're internet highways, different brain work. Do you mean 90 seconds to feel the emotion or for the emotion to be felt and completed? Actually, to release the physical sensation of the emotion, just the physical sensation of the emotion, 90 seconds. Yeah. Anything after that, you've attached a story. Anything after that, you've attached a story. Yep. And it's great. Aunt Jane and that darn chocolate cake that gets you every time. You guys are going to hate chocolate cake by the time I'm finished. Yes, Ali, you wanted to say something? Can you unmute?
Yes, please. So if it takes 60 to 90 seconds, the other day I lost my cool.
Yep.
And I can tell you I was ranting for longer than 60 to 90 seconds. So was I just attaching a story after story after story after
100%. You're stuck in the story.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The physical sensation will actually, if you breathe into that, the physical sensation will pass. And do you remember the exercises we just did about when you felt an emotion, when you said something to what you felt when you said something different? That's an example of exactly that.
And so why in that moment would I have wanted to hold on to it?
You don't. Autopilot. It's in your thoughts. It's coming from your unconscious mind. Yeah. 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 It's an unconscious thought. And it's usually coming from a survival situation, survival mode of some sort. Fight or flight is usually the guy responsible for that. Yeah. So for some reason, you've either felt you've had to defend yourself or you've had to protect yourself. And that's why you've done that. Yeah. Yeah. So to rewrite a story, we must first accept the emotions tied to it. This involves feeling without judgment. For example, if a story of rejection triggers sadness, allow yourself to feel that sadness fully. And that is a big part of breath work and why it's so powerful, because the story gets us stuck. But what breath work invites us to do is to actually dive under that story. All right, and feel into the sensations into our body and release the emotion. And that is the power of this particular tool. But there are many others, but this is one particular tool that is very, very powerful if you have a strong emotion and it's hard for you to be able to move through that, usually trauma related or started very early in childhood. They are the big guys that can be very hard to shift. Yep, grief and loss is another one. Right. And it's because of the stories that are attached to that, okay, that keep heightening and bringing back the same emotion, reliving the same story. All right. What breathwork invites us to do is to bypass that story, go under that, and feel into the actual emotion. And thus releasing it from the body and helping it to heal and integrate. Pretty cool stuff, hey? Breath's a powerful thing. So use breath work to sit with the physical sensations instead of avoiding or numbing them. By feeling emotions, we release the energetic charge they hold, creating space for new, empowering stories to emerge. All right, I'm going to read that again. To sit with the physical sensations instead of avoiding or numbing them. By feeling emotions, we release the energetic charge they hold, creating space for new empowering stories to emerge. Yeah. Now we're going to do another breath work exercise. And here we're going to begin by sitting comfortably and closing your eyes. We're going to take a few deep breaths to center ourselves. You'll scan your body for areas of tension or discomfort, such as tight chest or clenched jaw. You're going to breathe deeply into that sensation and imagine the breath softening and releasing the tension. This is where, when we've practiced breathing in, breathing out is letting go. And you're going to ask yourself, what emotion is here? What story is tied to it? And you're going to stay with the feeling, breathing deeply until you feel a sense of release and lightness. Give me a hands up if you're ready to do this. Yeah. Alrighty. And once again, I'm going to guide you through this. All right. Take a breath through your nose, down to your belly, up to your chest, and let go. Take a moment to be fully present. Give yourself permission to be present. Try not to judge the space, but approach it with curiosity. Breathing belly to chest, expanding and letting go. Imagine each breath softening and releasing the tension as you exhale. Breathing in down to your belly, up to your chest, and letting go. Begin to notice the sensations in your body. Breathing belly, chest, expanding and letting go. Your mind may wander, and that's okay. Just bring it back to the breath. Belly, chest, expand and letting go. What sensations do you feel in your body? It could be warm, cool, heavy, tingling. Whatever it is for you, just allow it to be present. Breathing belly to chest, expanding and letting go. Take a breath down to your belly and up to your chest and ask yourself, what emotion is here? Breathing belly, chest, expand and letting go. Take another breath in, down to your belly, up to your chest, and ask yourself this question. What story is tied to it? Breathing belly, chest, expand, and letting go. Stay with the feeling. Breathing deeply down to your belly, up to your chest, and letting go. Feeling a sense of release or lightness as you let go. Belly, chest, expand and letting go. You're doing great. Belly, chest, expand and letting go. Feel your body become lighter, less tense. The area begin to loosen, soften. Breathing belly to chest, expand, letting go. Great work. Take another breath down to your belly, up to your chest. And when you're ready, gently wriggle your fingers and toes. Hear my voice outside your body. When you're ready, open your eyes. Write into the chat what you felt, what you might have experienced in that. A lot of sadness coming up. That's very normal, Christy. Very normal. Just keep breathing into that. After you have got off the session tonight, just take some time to sit and breathe through it. But be gentle with yourself. Don't try and push beyond what you're ready for. Release and relaxation from scared to empowered. Wonderful. Felt light, but then the focus on my body so much kind of made me feel squirmy and uncomfortable, like I had to shake off the feeling. Don't know how to explain that. That is actually quite normal, Stella, and it's just emotion coming up. That's okay. You, in your own time, maybe spend a little bit more time breathing through that and let that experience just gradually release for you. My mind was racing a bit, so it was interchangeable between thoughts, then back to my breath. That's also quite normal. If you've got more than one emotion coming up, that can happen because what your brain's trying to do is find a story to attach to it. And there may be several stories to one emotion. So that could be quite normal. Just keep breathing through that, and it will help you to be able to do that. Feeling very relaxed. Excellent. Move from hurt to calm. Love it. Love it. Awareness of the story. Beautiful, Tracy. Awesome. I had a lot of tightness and stress in my jaw, headache and neck pain. All that is gone. I was feeling overwhelmed and now feeling calm and peaceful and no pain. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love that, Katrina. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So imagine, we just did that for a couple of minutes here. Imagine if you did that for 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night, how much that would change your life. Yeah. Such an easy tool. But we don't know what we don't know, right? So taking action to reframe the story. Rewriting a story is about replacing old beliefs with new ones that serve our growth. For instance, I'm not good enough can become I'm capable and deserving of success. The breath is key here. Breathe in the new story and let it settle in your body. We release the old story. Okay, so I am capable of hitting all my goals. Letting away all the old story. All right. By combining breathwork with mindset shifts, we rewrite the brain and body to align with this new narrative, creating real lasting change. So this time, what we're going to do is we're going to scan the body for any tension. And on the exhale, we're going to imagine the tension melting away. With each inhale, we're going to say, I affirm, I release what no longer serves me, I breathe in peace, like we did earlier on. And we're going to keep practicing that. Okay, and as we let out the breath, we're going to be releasing any tension from our body. Okay, so you can do the same thing again. You might also want to create an affirmation of your own, right, for a personal goal that you may be working through, and that's fine too. But what's important is that you breathe in the new affirmation and you release the tension from the old story. Is everybody following that okay? Thumbs up if everybody's following it. Yep. Okay. All righty. So let's begin again. Gently close our eyes. Think of your affirmation, what it is you want to say, the belief you want to change. Think of the story you want to change. All righty. And gently close your eyes. Yeah. And you're going to be breathing in the new belief and letting go of the old one. Breathing down to your belly, up to your chest, and letting go. Breathing in, down to your belly, up to your chest, and let go. Belly, chest, expand, letting go. Belly, chest, expand, letting go. Belly, chest, expand, letting go. Beautiful. Belly, chest, expand, letting go. Well done. We're going to round it off now by taking a breath down to the belly, up to the chest. Gently wriggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes, give yourself a big stretch. Pick up a little bit. Feeling better? Let me know what you thought about it in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. Doing breath work morning and night most days really changed my emotional state for the better. Absolutely. What do you feel with the new belief that you've just established? Put it in the chat for me. Love the new belief, felt empowering. Awesome. It was very affirming. I felt loved. Awesome. Excited. Awesome. Loving this. Felt empowered, saying the I am affirmations, breathing in. Awesome. Awesome. Love it. Love it. So just to recap everything tonight, what are the stories? Okay, I'm going to ask you these questions and I'm going to get you to drop it in the chat for me. What are stories? I am deeply capable, total believer of reaching my goals. Amen. Love it. That is so cool. All righty. The power of it. What is the story? Yeah. What is a story? That's the question I'm asking everyone to drop in the chat now. What is a story? The definition of a story is, and remember we did it from the very first page. What do we got here? The belief you're telling yourself. Yes. About what? The perception? Yes. They're all true. Christy? Yeah. Yeah. That's often the case, Christy. I like that one. BS belief. Yeah. Often they're very, very true. Interpretations. I love that. Yes. Interpretations. A belief we attach to a story. Yeah. Absolutely. So they're not necessarily real, and in fact they are interpretive. An opinion others which we became to tell ourselves absolutely as truth. In some cases that's true. It could also be one that we've told ourselves. Who thinks breath work's pretty cool? Is it a useful tool? Give me a yes or a no. Is it a useful tool? It is. Awesome. I love it. What does breath work help us to do? To be calm. Yes. Yep. Love breath work. It's pretty cool stuff, isn't it? Shift energy. I love that. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Change the story. I love it. Release the old story. Yes. To become more authentic. Yes. To soothe our nervous system and be calm and centered. Absolutely. And that's one of the big takeaways that I really want everybody to think about tonight. What we're actually doing when we're using breath work and what we're actually doing over time is actually building our tolerance in our nervous system. All right, we're changing our tolerance level of what the nervous system can handle. All right, and that's pretty cool. Why is that so useful? Because the more that we build up our tolerance level to what we can tolerate in our nervous system, the more we can let go of the stuff that's been holding us back. Yeah. As we begin to trust the process, I've got control of this. I feel safe to release this. I feel safe and good to let this go. I can now make room to dive into something deeper and look at that and let that go because I'm safe to do that now. Yeah, it's building up that tolerance in our nervous system to be able to do the deeper work to get us back to who we really are, to the true and authentic self, unapologetically. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So, who is going to commit to shifting one old story this week? And I want you to actually commit to it in the chat. I want to hear, I'm committed. Without breath, we are nothing, but we take it for granted until we bring awareness through such practices. Love breath work. Yeah, absolutely. I'm committed. I'm committed. I'm committed to change the story. Love it. Yes, 100% committed. I am committed. I love this. I'm committed. Yes. It teaches us that being relaxed and safe is positive experience and helps to release stored emotions. Yes, stored stress and energy. Absolutely. Are you committed, Chris, to change one thing? Yes, you're committed. I love this. Yes, I am committed. I love it. I love it. Okay. I would invite you, beautiful ladies, to turn up for yourself this week and be committed to that. Okay. Because the thing about trusting ourselves, it's doing the small things. Yeah. The small things that we're going to say we're going to do If you get up and you say to yourself tomorrow, I'm going to wear pink knickers, do it. Okay? Do it because it develops trust in yourself. It's just something so small, but it's trust in yourself. And as you trust yourself, you'll be willing to do many more things that will lead you to the goals that you want to do. Yeah. Who's got Aunt Jane sorted out this Christmas? Awesome. Awesome. Much love to all you girls. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session, and I look forward to talking to you all on the other side. You take care, girls. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.